Star Trek Picard. You can find it on Crave right now. But also, we want to congratulate you because season 2 is already announced, which is pretty amazing.
Can I also say it's chilling to hear your voice, and I have goosebumps right now. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Oh, well, you're very kind. Thank you. I think I'm a little bit croaky this morning, but if I do, I apologize. I think it was too much shouting at the television last night. That's what it is.
That'll do it.
One of the things they tell you in life is that you can't go home, right? You can't go back. With Picard, it doesn't seem like that's what you're doing, yet there is something that feels very much like home about it, because you, as Picard, it's just, I mean, that was synonymous with all of our childhood. So, I mean, how did this all come about? What made you finally decide to go, you know what? I think I want to play this character again.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long process, and a process which I was determined to pull the plug on right away. But when I saw the list of the names of the people who were producers and writers of this show, I felt that I must handle it with a little bit more decency. And so I said I would meet with them. But my reason for meeting with them, as I said to them when we were all in a room together, was that I could explain to them why I was going to turn the offer down. It may sound a little arrogant, but I had such respect for the 4 people that I was facing in that room, that just to have said, no, move on, pass on. And so I listened to them, and then I asked them if they would be good enough to put in writing what they had been telling me. And 2 days later, or maybe it was only 24 hours later, I received, I think, 33 pages of pitch and storyline and ideas and so forth. And these interested me enough for me to agree to take a second meeting, and this time a proper meeting at which their objectives with this new series could be discussed. And by the end of that meeting, I was pretty well convinced that here was something I should pay attention to.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That's so cool. Just running us through that story, just captivating, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny, it's sometimes those opportunities that you think there's no way that this will work, and then you go into the meeting and you think, wow, this is fantastic.
That's right. It's happened to me a number of times, actually, in my career, when I have turned. I was once offered the leading role in a Shakespearean called The Winter's Tale, and everyone I spoke to me said, "Oh no, you don't want to do that. Oh, it's a horrible play. So many nasty things happen. And the character you be playing, oh, he's so unpleasant, creepy, and nasty." And I went to the director to say, "Thank you very much, well, I'm going to pass." And he said, "Well, let me just say one thing to you before you do that. I think this creepy, dreadful, murderous man actually lives inside you."
Oh, wow.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, since you did bring up Shakespeare, about the sonnets you've been reading, and they've been posted on social media. And I got to say, I'm not much of a Shakespeare boy myself, but hearing you read them, and it's just the word that comes to mind is just delightful.
Yes.
It's soothing.
Yes.
It's very therapeutic. It's what the world needs right now. Is that something you thought was going to happen when you started posting them, or did you think this was going to be a bit of a one-off? Or
No, not at all. A week ago, my wife and I are alone here in the house, and every evening we pour a glass of wine and we sit and we talk and we watch some TV and we read books, and for some reason a particular sonnet came into my head, and I said, "Do you know this?" And so it's one I knew by heart, so I recited it to her, and she said, "Whoa, stop! I've got to record this. No, you just go back to the beginning again and do it." So I did, and we decided to post it, just as here's a little something in the midst of all this nastiness and horror, and to my utter astonishment, there was an overwhelmingly positive response. I mean, thousands and thousands of people heard this sonnet. So I thought about it, and there are I think 153 sonnets, and I thought, well, if my mother used to, when she would cut up slices of fruit when I was a child, she would say to me, "An apple a day keeps the doctor away." And I thought, well, maybe a sonnet a day might keep the doctor away.
It's not bad advice.
I could listen to you say anything.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you're taking requests at this point. It's a very anxious world right now. So if I were to send you a script, could you send me something back and just take care of my emotions, sir? Yes?
You can say no, by the way.
Yes. There may be a small fee.
Okay.
That kind of comfort doesn't come for free. Okay? And good on you, Sir Patrick. Well, listen. Sorry,
that's
go ahead.
Very kind of you. You're lovely to say those nice things. I really appreciate it.
Well, I have to tell you,
like velvet.
we work for, and you probably don't know this, but we work for a very young radio station, targeting 18 to 34-year-olds. And when we mentioned that you were doing the sonnets on the air, there was a huge reaction from people going, "Great, I have something to do now." So, people adore you.
Everyone needs you.
All ages. So please keep this up.
Well, thank you. That's very encouraging at a time like that to hear this, because like so many millions of people, we can't work. There are no rehearsal rooms to go to, no stage, no studio, and so I found that knowing that usually I start work on the sonnet about noon, and I like to record it if possible before lunchtime, and it has given me a focus to the day, so I'm benefiting from it too.
That's the key. They keep saying, put something in your day that you have to do. That's a bit of a challenge.
Keep them busy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Sir Patrick Stewart, as much as we'd love to do a full podcast with
Yeah,
you, 2
yeah.
hours.
I can talk to you all
Forever.
day.
We know we're not allowed to, but we hope that when season 2 launches, you'll at least come back for 20 more minutes and regale us with more stories, because I know there's just a book full of them, and we so appreciate you making time for us today.
You're very kind to say that. I've enjoyed talking to you a lot. Now, all of you, please take care.
You too. Stay
will.
safe.
So
Thank you, sir.
soothing. Thank you.
Take
care.
care.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.